Playing my CD once said something that made me want to burn my liquor store down to the ground. But I just can't leave the pad, 'cause I will surely wind up dead. Because I know they're out there waiting, they're watching for me. Still, I got my yellow cat, my wooden baseball bat, my shiny silver gat, and all my homeboys got my back, and I've got all I need. What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mick. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their pick on their profile.
Make me suck the sushi off this stick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills. For Sasquatch Shills, you don't have to. You know, when I'm running around out there in the vast fields of YouTube and I'm looking under all the rocks for all the little channels that are out there doing the thing, and y'all know what I mean when I say doing the thing, because if you're not doing the thing, I'm not talking to you. Every now and then, it's not often you find as engaging as channel creators I've found tonight. I'm actually quite impressed with how he's been operating the whole thing. I've only known him for a couple of few days, but as far as I can tell, he's one of the most open and engaging content creators I've come across in a minute. And of course, you can't really ask for you can ask for a Sasquatch Shills. If your content makes the cut as far as like interest, I'll do it. But it's better if you don't. And this is one of those situations where you come across somebody who's doing the thing, the YouTube thing. They're doing the best they can do with what they've got, and I'm quite impressed with what he's accomplished. It's an interesting thing. Now, granted, it does run the vein of your usual kind of panel show, but homie's constantly messing with his layout, always messing with his formula, always messing with the format. He's changed things around so much that from literally the past couple of days to like 2 weeks ago, you might not recognize the channel hardly at all. It's a fairly dynamic thing to watch. It's literally the creation of a brand in progress, and y'all know how much I love that type of shit. So without further ado, I'm bringing the man up here. This is 5/5, also known as Mr. Millie in the chat, also known as El Jefe. What's up, brother? How you doing?
How are you doing, my guy? Definitely appreciate the introduction, man. That was awesome stuff. Thank you for the flowers.
Like I said, the whole nervous thing beforehand, it's ice water after I go live. I don't get it. So I'm going to put you up on the big screen. I want you to tell everybody who you is, what it is you do, and why you do it.
Okay. So the name of the channel is 5/5, right? You can call me Mr. A Million in the chat. This is something I'm manifesting, trying to put 1 million people in the chat. My channel, I like to affect people in a positive way. I like to bring information. I like to share information. I like to meet new people. I like to look at life like it's puzzle pieces, and we each have each other's pieces to complete our puzzles. And that all comes with communication. I don't like division. I'm more of an addition, multiply. I'm always open for communication. I'm a very open man. I don't judge stuff. I don't come at anything with negative energy at all.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's rare to come across positive creators. You can sometimes come across positive channels, right? And the channel will be positive, but then when you get backstage with the creator, and or you're not immediately on their channel, suddenly they're a total dork or asshat, and it's like, who is this guy? Why is he over here jerking my chain? You know what I'm saying? It's like it'd be like that sometimes, and I got no smoke for them either, but I got a few questions. We got to cover some groundwork here. So little Jefe was sitting around one day and decided he was going to upload a video to YouTube. What on earth inspired that first upload? And it doesn't have to be this channel. I'm just talking about your very first. I made a video and uploaded it.
My first one was, I was in a prior relationship. Right? I'm single now, but the person I was with at the time, they were like, she was telling me that I should be on YouTube. I need to be putting content out there. She took her 90 days to get me to do it because I wasn't too comfortable with the camera. It took me a minute, right? It took me a minute. I would be able to record my upload, but I didn't feel comfortable putting it on YouTube. I just didn't feel comfortable with the camera. She kept working on me with it. Then we actually did it. And then it was like a snowball effect. After the first couple uploads, the camera almost was like a best friend. It took a minute for me to embrace it, but it was already there. I felt comfortable. It wasn't, the recording process wasn't a problem. It was more when everybody's seen it. It was that part. It took a minute to get past that curve, because what you come to realize later on in life or later on YouTube is that you might want to produce one type of content, but your audience is going to want something different from you. And I know that.
Sometimes the content you intend to create is not the content you're meant to create. You may decide that you want to do something just like something you've seen on TV. That's fine. Emulation is the greatest form of flattery. But you're not going to be able to do it as well as the original. And even if you throw a twist in it by changing a title or a name or something, it's still a reproduction. And generally speaking, when you're dealing with Iron Man channels like ours, a poor reconstruction, right? And what's up, GFS Truth? Let's run through chat right quick. Let's see who all we got up in here. Let's see how it runs. First of all, we got Thoth Mark, who gets the gold. Welcome to the show, bud. Appreciate you coming in. BXJ Live gets the silver. Good to see you, bud. Laurie, no. Sorry, Laurie Chick, you missed out. Steve Senior 8 T8. That guy there, that down there. He gets the bronze, right? We got Lawyer Chick in chat. Good to see you, honey. We got Naomi in chat, who just got a moderator status. So you know how I feel about that kind of stuff. pretty sure you've heard me rant on and on endlessly about it. Oh, finally, someone noticed the beard trim. Not a soul on earth has mentioned it. I trimmed it several days ago, and ain't nobody said nothing. Yeah, I trimmed my beard. I did that. Then hit that like button, people. Like, if you're not here liking stuff, what are you doing? What are you doing? We got Dennis Bigfoot in the chat. Good to see you, bud. Logical Spark. There was one other person, and I missed them. I don't want to miss them. Oh, maybe it was like Jerome Street. Here you is. Shout out hi from El Perro Hotep, my brother. What is up? Good to see you. Be nice. Just be nice, brother. Yeah, you can either go like or dislike this. That's either, as the case may be. All right, so you uploaded your first bit. You were kind of harassed into doing it. With me, I was told for years that I should have a YouTube channel, but I never took them seriously because everyone always told me you're not funny, but they just meant they didn't like that joke, right? So I believed them. And it wasn't until I did start my YouTube channel that I went, wait a second, somebody's not telling me the truth. Either I am funny and y'all have all been lied to me my whole life, or, and this is possible, I'm not funny and people just want to see me crash and burn. Either way, welcome to the show. So once you got used to the camera and you started actually doing uploads, what was the first thing that hit you about the difference between like real life and the YouTube streets, as it were?
You don't want to know. Honestly, the way I was spoken to by people that would never speak to me in a certain nature in real life, that's something I had to get accustomed to.
Right.
Not even, it wasn't more or less the context of what they were saying. Like they might say, hey, my guy, like you could do better with your content, but those weren't the words they used. It was that. Because people in real life, God.
Yes. They come in, look at what you're doing for 15 seconds, and then tell you everything you've done wrong. And then they leave. And if they come back, it's only to tell you you're a schmuck and you learned nothing. And I'm like, okay, dude, well, I didn't get it the first time you told me. I'm not even angry that they're a bitch. They do happen to be a bitch, but at the same time, they have a point, and I'm willing to accept that at face value, even if you're a bitch about it.
At least some of the time, it's like, and that's why I tell people, when you're a content creator and you're giving me the criticism, and I know the difference because a creator is going to give you some type of decorum. They're going to talk to you a certain way because they respect what you're doing, because they respect the craft, because they're doing it. You get what I'm saying?
And you remember backstage the other day, I told you something about the difference between people who make content and people who are content versus people who don't even think creator thoughts, right?
Yeah.
People who are content are also concerned about your channel because they don't want to look bad in your, you know, in the lights of the situation they've taken as being, you know, a panel that they can join because they're not a YouTuber, right? They're above us because they don't make content or whatever. On the other hand, you have people who come up and destroy panels. They scream over people. They refuse to have a conversation. They only follow a particular narrative, or they're always screaming about race, or they're always screaming about some kind of ism or ist or some other thing. They're activists. They're not actually people. And as such, you should treat them that way and gatekeep your channel religiously, desperately gatekeep, because if you let those people in, if you believe, okay, first of all, YouTube, I am a free speech advocate. YouTube is not a free speech platform. So the very second you say something that might damage my channel, any particular blue name in my chat will be deucing you right out. All the moderators can do it, and I don't question it. I'll go back in about a week and look at the names and be like, okay, well, that one's on my, you know, but if I happen to notice what it was that got you blocked, and if Swiss Miss shows up, she blocks you, your ass is canned. You're in a black hole. You're never coming out again. That's my managing moderator. She is the El Jefe as far as I'm concerned. She tells me what to do sometimes.
That's the boss.
Well, I
is
mean,
definitely
the
the
thing
case.
is, you respect experience, right? You expect the willingness to do the work, to put in the effort, to do the whole thing, right? She's done the thing on dozens of channels. And so if I go too hard in the paint, I'll get a phone call in the middle of a stream, be like, that might be just a little bit too far. And I do the same thing for other people, right?
So I kind of do that now. So one of my main rules is, well, I only have one segment that I let the yelling go, but it's only two people. It's nobody else. It's only these two, and they've only done it once or twice, but they kind of did it for me. And it was the topic, and everybody knew it was funny, it was entertaining. But other than that, we don't let nobody talk over people. We don't yell over people. We try to really watch the swearing. We allow people to go one at a time. Like I said, sometimes when there's a lot of people on the panel, I make people aware to try to shorten up the reply so everybody could chime in, because I'm very cautious of the people that's absorbing the content. Like I've had people tell me that they be having my lives on their TVs in their house. Or I might have a truck driver or two. And now I put myself in my thought, like, okay, if I'm in a truck, do I want to hear yelling? I'm in a house. I don't want yelling coming
Right.
through my TV.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to hear yelling, sir. I think that is a byproduct of weak creators. They're not willing to gatekeep their panel or their channel well enough to keep this type of stuff from becoming the norm. And people, when I first started, I'm vicious. I'm an absolute savage. And I say it often. I surround myself with savages and then rise to the occasion. I have no mercy. I have absolutely no compunction about blocking somebody. I will do it. Right. So
I remember that first day you said, you're going to need moderators over here.
yeah, you're going to have them. When you get up around 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, you're going to have 18 trolls, and you'll have 2 that are worth their salt, and you'll have 1 that knows where you live and just doesn't bother you too much. Those are the scary ones, dude.
See, everybody that knows me in real life, they know I'm on YouTube. I've been in the same location for over 30 years. Yeah, I stream to my Facebook every day. Like people that know me in real life, they know I be having relatives in my chat, all kinds of stuff, right? So what I like to tell them people is like, yo, don't tell me who you are. Just either say I'm lying or say I'm telling the truth in the chat. And then in a while, tell me, because I don't want you to say your name. Say how you know me. And then I'll know who you are, and I don't have to know your name, right? So now everybody around my way knows I'm on YouTube. So the chat thing, I could give out a secret. I don't care. I like a level playing field, right? Sure. I just do it better than people. That's what I tell them. I banned 99% of the swears in my YouTube studio, so you can't even swear in my chat. You can't do that. I banned like a whole bunch of words, so you can't even write them in my chat. So I figure like this. If you figured out a way to troll me in my chat, you kind of deserve that at this point. I look at it like an accolade. Like, wait, what? How the hell did you manage to do that? Or like that? Now I appreciate the creativeness in it. And then a lot of the time when that happens, a person will troll and they'll see my response. Because if it's a funny chat, I will put it on the screen and I will say, yo, you are talking about me, but this was hilarious. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason that I don't. But I know once the chat gets, that's what we want. That's where we're going.
So usually when I'm interviewing, what's up, Dusty? Usually when I'm interviewing folks, I'm catching them on their first channel, their first chance. But you've had other channels, and you've got some content that you've uploaded to your channel that's from the other channels, right? What was the very first video you uploaded on this channel? Do you remember?
I was probably talking crazy about the other sector I was in.
Well, you're in luck because we do these things muted, and it's all part of the gimmick. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the right freaking gimmick or it don't work.
You don't want cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
Because bad movies are funny. All right, so we got your earliest publicly available upload. What spawned this?
Okay, so if you look at my shirt, that's crazy. You look at my shirt, that's actually my old channel. Because what I did with the old channel was I didn't like the sector. That whole sector was boiled around negativity, all of it. So if you try to bring up a topic of something of importance, nobody would come. So what I did was one day I went to Foxwoods and I had mad fun and I changed the password. I changed the password on the email. I blocked the email. I blocked the YouTube channel to make sure I had no access to it. And I never have. I still don't know how to get into that email, or I have no access to that YouTube. I want nothing to do with that sector. That's how I created this one. And I'm at work right here. I'm actually, I don't know if you know, there's a company out here called Pratt and Whitney. They do airplane parts. And I was in a box truck, and this part of the contract, you need a van because I live in Connecticut and I'm going past Danbury to upstate New York. It's like a mountain, and you drop off these airplane parts. And I'm actually driving on the highway right here. On some crazy shit.
Well, it basically the whole purpose is to throw you back to the point where you started this channel and to put you in the thought process of like where you are today versus where you were at that point in time. Do you feel like you're in a better place?
I'll tell you what, this is gonna sound crazy. I've never had this done to me. I can honestly say, if this is then and I'm now, I'm further than I'd ever thought then that I'd be now. Does that make sense?
That's cool. I have two dogs fighting in the background. It's okay.
What's new?
I'm not sure exactly what to do about it.
Oh man. In this video, right? By this time, I didn't think I'd be at the subscriber amount that I'm at right now. At this time, I wasn't even thinking about subscribers. I was trying to get to where I'm at now mentally. That's why at this time I didn't know about manifestation and visualizing that the way I do now. And what I was trying to do was manifest where I'm at now. And I just didn't know how I was going to do it, how I was going to go about it. I just didn't know.
Cool. I have an opinion on manifestation and dogs barking for no apparent reason. Oh my God. You're ruining the show. God, I'm just going to make him a co-host. All right. So really, yeah, he's suddenly part of the show. When you started putting together the whole nuts and bolts of this channel and you decided to do the 5/5 thing, why did you keep the El Jefe handle? You can change that.
So the El Jefe handle came with this channel. It wasn't on the other channel. I don't believe it. But then the reason is that I'm the boss. What I'm trying to tell myself is I'm the boss. Nothing runs me. Nothing affects me. That I'm not a victim to nothing. No negative entity can ever affect me. I'm the boss of my life. I'm the creator of my life. So no matter what, I always want to see that. I always want that reminder. No matter what I think that it might be happening, that nothing's really happening. I'm the creator of my reality. I'm not a victim of it.
Right. I'm a big believer in not having the victimhood mindset. Some people victimize themselves. Yeah. You can have an honest conversation with them and walk away, and you'll find out later that you're all kinds of terrible people because you victimized them in a conversation. And it's like, I thought it was a pretty decent conversation myself, but apparently they define things differently, but don't tell you about it, and then use a covert social contract to try to hold you accountable through.
Smile. You better smile at that. You know you love that dog. You better smile. That's what dogs do. They bark. What do you want it to do? Be quiet? It barks.
I mean, it's generally fairly well managed, but
the dog
this is his first week. this is his first week free with movement and able to move around because he's still in the training stage where you're beating all the wrinkles into his brains,
Yeah.
so that he acts like a dog instead of like a savage.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he gets savage, I want it to be when I tell him to and not any other time. Would you stop? Put you in your house. Go home.
Oh my God, I needed this laugh. Every time you always make, that's one thing I can say, you never disappoint. You always make me laugh. Look at that beautiful dog. Oh, beautiful dog.
He's not scared of the camera. The other one is terrified of the camera. I don't
I
know
bet
what it
it's
is.
it's not even the camera. I bet it's the white lines they see behind it.
I don't know, man. All I know for absolutely certain it's with Buddy, you can pull out the camera and he looks at it and he plays and he does the stuff. But with Moose, if you point a camera at him, he's gonna shy away and walk away like you're pointing a gun at him or something. It's weird. All right. But where do you want to take this channel? Where do you want it to go? Do you want to be a CNN news program? Do you want to be a current events topics? Do you want to be political? Do you want to be activist? Do you want to be promotional? I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can go, and you're kind of at this point of deciding what it's going to be.
You know, I've been kind of thinking about this, right? And I only got one good answer. And a lot of people don't like it, but don't put how remember that movie from back in the day? Maybe my age is gonna show right here, right? But you know what is it? You don't put Cherry in a corner. Is that the movie? Crybaby?
No, that's not Crybaby. Yeah. You don't put baby in the corner, and that is 1984. I think.
So you don't put 5/5 in a box. I want to be able to talk about anything and everything at all time because there's a whole bunch of different aspects to me. You know what I mean? Like today, yeah. What if I'm a newsroom? I mean, what if I'm a sports channel and something very newsworthy that I should be talking about? I'm gonna talk about it. That's why I feel like I like to talk about real life events. Like I love politics, and I like to make whatever I'm talking about it entertaining and funny at the same time. Because you know everybody don't always want the curriculum, the structure all the time. Sometimes you make people laugh, you make them giggle, you teach them a little something, you join in, you know. But I like talking about everything except for one topic. Honestly,
no, sure.
There's only one topic I don't like, and I banned that topic from my channel a couple of days ago, and I'm making it clear that I'm never doubling back to that topic ever again.
I don't blame you. I don't generally cover it all unless Joe Cool comes up. But if somebody with 200,000 subscribers shows up, you make a few allowances. You know what I'm saying?
Different. That's different. But then nobody's going to be on the panel. So then that's different. You get what I mean? But correct. Right. That is a fact.
So anyway, when you come across Joe Cool, you'll get what I'm saying. He's sort of contrarian. Right. So if you take a position, he's going to take the opposite of that position just to have that conversation. Right. And I thought I made him mad the first time we had this. We were discussing abortion, and he bagged me into not so much a corner as it was a part of the discussion I had never actually considered.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I gave him my thoughts on it, and he said he thought it was a cop-out, and then I think the power went off and the show ended and everything went horribly wrong. It was nothing to do with him. But he didn't show back up at the channel for a while, and I was like, shit, I must have pissed him off. Damn, I like that guy. You know, went on with my freaking life. You know how it is. Oh, well, all shucks. You know, directly I came across him on another channel, and he was like, nah, man, we had our conversation. You stood your ground pretty well. I was going off to fuck with other fools.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know who my co-host, he likes to he emphasizes that a lot. He wants to make sure he'd be like, no echo chambers. It doesn't matter. And that's what the type of topic you just saw. We definitely gonna do every aspect, every point of view, every paradigm, every level, every echelon that we're gonna try to think of on every topic we're bringing up. We're going to try to talk about all of it. And then when the time comes that we have to make it more entertaining, we like to reiterate to the crowd that this is not personal. We're not, but this is for the entertainment. And then we go, but we don't swear at each other. We don't disrespect each other. All right, this is the only thing we do when we disrespect each other. We'll talk over each other by saying, sir, no, while you're moving the goalposts, sir, that is not the question. We will troll each other by trying to answer like he'll let me get 2 words out and say, sir, that is not answering the question. You know, just to make it, then you see the chat, everybody gets laughing, we interacting with the chat. You know,
I like interacting with the chat when it's possible. Sometimes you have to keep in mind that
your dog is going
the whole time we're talking. He's triggering on me talking, man. I guarantee you. When interacting with there are some shows where interacting with the chat is a part of the game. There are other shows where the chat is ancillary to the point, right? If you're interviewing somebody who's an activist and they have a particular point, then you gear the show to the point, even if it means sort of obliviating certain parts of it. You know what I'm saying? You just don't pay these parts attention because other parts are more important, and this would take away from that. And even if it would be better for the channel, it doesn't matter.
So if you don't know, what you're witnessing right now is that the beautiful dog is over there chiming in and saying, Squash, this is my question. Ask my question, Squash. That's what's happening right now. And Squash is like, it's my turn to ask. And the dog is like, no, it's my turn to talk. This is what the dog is saying.
I'm going to change his name to Lorenzo, and he's going to have to do all of my research. Oh, that's another thing. And I strongly advise this be the case. You should absolutely invent a totally imaginary assistant to blame for everything.
So, you know what I like to do? This is what one of the things that you probably like about me, but it hasn't happened in front of you yet. So you don't even know that this is what you like about me because it hasn't happened in front of you. But this is the one thing that you're like, he made something a little bit different about him, right? I never have a problem taking accountability for my actions, ever. I never have a problem taking accountability for what happens on my platform, even if it's not my actions, because it's my platform, it's my room. I feel like that's my house. So, like, let's say you're on my platform and somebody tries to, and I allow somebody to come up on my platform. I'm never going to allow that person to disrespect you. That person has a problem with you, I put everybody down and me and that person talk one-on-one, because if this is my house, nobody's coming into my house to attack my guests. It's not how this thing works. And if you have a problem with my guests, you take that up on another channel, not on mine.
This dog is fixing to pass out, y'all. Have you ever had a 3-year-old? You ever had a little kid in the house, and right before they get sleepy, they're real sleepy, they're going to go to bed, they just go hog wild? That's what's going on right now. He's running in circles between my camera. He's attacking the bigger dog. He's not actually biting them. He's just running up and nipping onto a paw and then running another circle. See, he just smacked into the freaking camera. Oh my
I went through that. Yeah.
It's live action TV, folks. Welcome to the show.
Hit that like button if you just got here, please.
Right? If y'all just wandered in, there's this thing called a like button. If you've never seen YouTube before, I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, no, he's moved my camera enough that you can see the edge of my green screen.
Yeah. That's
like
love,
that.
Man. That's love, man.
I don't like that at all. That's no good.
That's what I was doing. When you had me backstage, I'm trying to look in the corner to make sure my corners are good. You know, and I appreciate the comments.
I'll be right back. I gotta fix that. That's
no problem, man. Do me a favor, whoever's just checking in, no matter what platform you at, hit that like button, man. Get in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the content, man. If you have any questions, you could definitely ask the questions. Don't hit the dislike button. Squash loves the hate. You can do that as well. Just interact with the channel, evidently, because Squash doesn't care. Just interact is what we want. But definitely get in that. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Get in that chat session. Let us know where you checking in from. You know, and like I said, any questions, because I'm always an open book. And I have nothing to
I'm gonna tell you something. This is a weird thing about YouTube. I'm not sure why this is. I get my absolutely best numbers when everything goes wrong and I start panicking.
So that's why you going crazy.
I don't get it.
So that's why you're going now. That's how it's meant to be. That's how it's meant to be.
Obviously. So if you're going to expand your brand in some direction, that's actually kind of a dumb question.
No, it's not.
Is there an area you'd like to move into that you doubt it'll actually work? Right? Like, there's opportunity there, but you're not sure if you got the chops to pull it off. You don't have to name what it is. Simply say yes, and we'll continue with the discussion.
Right?
Okay. Well, I mean, the area of the million in chat, that's forward. Forward is acceptable. Right.
But when you're there, now you got to provide the content. You have to entertain it, and that's what there's the answer to your question, because this is the result of doing what you're saying.
Right. To get there, though, you have to do this part. You have to make the intro. You have to find the song. You have to do the edits. You have to change them when they do not work. You got to put in gimmicks. You got to add in your clips and all that stuff. You have to source those. You have to record those. It's better to use a native recording than it is to try to source it off of other channels and stuff. I mean, it's complicated. and most of us are out here, sir.
I say it's worth it.
It will be. It's not now. None of us. It's not worth it to anybody under 1,000 subscribers. It ain't worth a damn dime of it. And you fucking know it, man. It is thankless. No, I mean, yeah, you've got your fans and you got your haters, and they all appreciate what you do. But beyond that is a very thankless thing. Unless you're making people laugh on the daily or you're changing people's freaking lives, they don't care. They just show up, hi, how you doing, hit the like or don't or whatever. Maybe tell a joke and chat and move on. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's the natural order of things. The trick is to create content good enough, informative enough, educational enough, or inspirational enough that a few of those people stick around. They don't just drop a like and tell a joke in chat. They stick around and ask a question, or they're going to start a channel maybe one day and they ask pertinent questions for other people to hear the answers to. And another thing is what we're going to come up into after this show, connectivity. Like, you cannot grow your channel in a vacuum. Correct. You need GFS, truth be told. You need the other people in your chat to talk about you, in a good way. It can't be, oh, he's a piece of shit. That won't grow your channel. It might grow your channel, but it'll be a bad thing. I'm an absolute savage, and I'm a bit renowned for being an absolute savage. But the thing is, my savagery is based off honesty. So if you're not prepared for the energy you're putting out, that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah. And
so you're putting out good energy. You're doing the thing. And I don't see there being any reason anyone should try to come down real hard on you for it.
Honestly, I had a little bit of backlash, but it was mainly, a lot of it was because I didn't want to deal with a certain topic. But a lot of backlash came around when people seen the opportunity that you and the brother both Mark were providing for me, because everybody else has been around for a while. Everybody else, we go to each other.
That's a good topic there. A lot of times people see someone else having good things happen, and for whatever reason, they feel like it was taken from them. It had nothing to do with them and nothing that they did and nothing to do with anyone they ever talked to, but they see someone doing better, improving, and they get this instinct in their brain that's like crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. I can't explain it, but I can recognize it when it's happening. And you have to kind of just Vaseline yourself down and let that stuff just slide right off of you.
Yeah.
And pause if you want, but
yeah, I agree. And I have somebody like the brother GFS and like everybody, but a lot GFS, he's always telling me, he keeps reiterating this sentence. Why would I be mad? Why would I be mad that your subscribers are growing? Why would I be mad that you're blowing up? Why would I be mad? Like, why? Like, I don't, and that's what I'm saying, because I tell people, man, I want you to have 20 million in the chat, bro. I want to be able to say, look, I know him. We've been on one panel. Somebody's going to be like, yeah, you were on one panel for 5 seconds. You don't know him. I don't care. I got the proof. We were right here. He had 20 million people in the chat now. Look, we were right here, and now he's over there. That means I could be over there too.
I'm going to be honest. I started interviewing people waiting patiently for one of you fruits to do a multiple murder. I'm not hopeful exactly, but you get where I'm coming from. It wouldn't be a bad business move.
Oh my god, this dude was great. Man, that was funny. That was funny because I remember the first time, right? The first time you came to my panel, it's weird.
That's
felt
weird. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, this dude's silly. I felt the hate from people through the camera. And I'm like, yo, how? Like, I can feel it, and you hadn't even said a word yet. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, what's happening right now? Because the brother was just with me on a whole other panel, talked to me a few times, and now he's like, yo, let me help you. Remember what I said? I was like, what? I'm not used to that. What? It took me a second. Like, talk to me. What do you mean? What can I do for you? Remember that? What? How can?
Yeah, no, it's not for sale.
Yeah, and that's the first thing he said. He said, "No, man, just let me." And then a lot of people around the community is like, I don't know, they don't even comprehend that. That's not how I see stuff. Like, all right, like when I'm driving on the highway and I see a Porsche, I don't say why he got that Porsche. I say the universe is showing me that if I'm in harmony with the right frequency, I'm gonna be in that. That Porsche is mine. The Porsche is mine now. You get what I'm saying? So now when I see other people, even the reactions I get when I hit somebody's link that they never seen me before, they don't know who I am. And it's like they do a little quick search on their phone. They see I create content. They pull me right up. How are you doing, 5'5"? They talk to me the way you did. Ask me about certain things, and then we just keep going with the content. And, you know, I'm always saying hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, you know? And it's like the more I do this, the more I interact, the more I gotta work on that. Make sure it slides off. You know, keep the grass cut low so I know who the snakes are, so they could keep them away. Because
good old-fashioned Brazilian wax.
Yeah, I tell people all the time I like to do a asset liability. Is this person an asset to me, or are they a liability? Is this because everybody got content, but is this content an asset to me, or is this content a liability to me? You get what I mean? Because like you said,
absolutely. Hey, well, it's not, but it's not all content. People are, like I said, there are people who are content creators who don't make content. They think creator thoughts. They are as concerned about appearances in your channel as you are, because they want the platform to come speak on. Whereas you have others that come in with no care. They've got this First Amendment concept in their head, or they've got this, you know, this troll narrative that they're going with, or they've got some imaginary hypothetical like tinfoil hat bullshit going on, and they don't care about your channel.
My bad. I'm supposed to have my mic muted. I'm sorry. You're supposed to hear that part.
So yeah, you kind of got to deal with each group in their own way, and the people that are beneficial to your channel, invite them back. Obviously, people that are neutral to your channel, you can permit them a voice, but you shouldn't let them take any amount of control over any part of any panel unless they come in, you know, engaging and being engaging, right? That's acceptable behavior. That's content. On the other hand, when you got someone who comes in and they don't do anything but turn their mic wide open and scream down on top of everybody and say, no, 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 you know, you can't work with that. So just, it's unfortunate. It is sad, but YouTube is not for everyone. And Panelverse specifically is not for everyone. So take it as you will, but you've got to drop the arbitrary hand of justice upon the head of those who will not comply. And that is all there is to it. YouTube requires it.
And you know what's funny that you say that? Because this is where that other channel came in handy. I can read people very well. So instead of me being mean to someone, I will switch lanes to a type of lane that certain people don't want to touch. So like let's say I was in the sector of whatever and I don't like it too much, like I were where I was, and I don't even want to say the name. I don't even want to talk about what the topics were, right? I switched to politics because I comprehended that the majority of them people, they want to talk about that, but they don't want to talk about politics. They won't do that. They won't touch it. It's crazy. I don't know. You'll have a whole gang member section, but they won't talk about politics. They won't talk about the president. They
That
won't talk
trips
about the
me,
laws.
bro. That trips me out. I've been on a bunch of really weird late night panels, and I'll come across a group of really super duper hardcore thugs talking about everything under the sun, except
Except
for the
politics.
presidential election. What?
Yeah, they won't talk
Seriously?
about that. So
They
now
won't
my
discuss
co
vetoes. They have some
at all.
topic, some particular topic that just is untouchable. And if you don't know it, your ass is gone.
So that's what I learned. I was like, oh, okay. A lot of these people, they want certain subscribers. They wanted me to stay at a certain sector, like a certain genre. And as is, I've only broached the topic because another content creator that has a lot more subscribers than me, he was like, yo, trust me, you're gonna want to do this. And it worked. Like one live, I had gained 111 subscribers in one live on this topic, you know? So, but it was in real life, I never had the type of, it was all about race, basically, man. And I didn't really have them problems in real life. I never really had that type of conversation. So as is, I didn't really like it. But the way I structured it, the people were not yelling over each other. I didn't allow that to happen. So people were kind of talking about it, but after a while, I started to feel like there's no resolution. We're just going to ring around the rosy. So then
Yes,
people
sir.
started to get upset.
And
Yeah.
that's where I break down the gatekeeping. You have to implement your gatekeeping. You have to set a threshold. You have to be ironclad on that threshold. And it's okay to go past the threshold if you choose to do so occasionally. Like for instance, I don't do any direct smoke at people on any of these shows, right? If I'm your producer and you have me up on panel, I'm going to be as courteous as I can be to everybody who shows up. And I don't care what they say to me. It does not matter. It's not my concern. My concern is protecting the channel. I'll go backstage. You can continue doing what you're doing. I don't care. It's up to you exactly how much involvement I have in whatever it is that you're doing, because it's what you are doing. And all I want to do is, you're fucking this chicken. I'm just going to hold the feathers. All right. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. So you do you, boo boo. And I'm just going to stand in the sidelines and go rah, rah, rah. I don't know what else to tell you. Support, bro. Like check him out. Go subscribe to him. Do the things. Press the buttons, the bells, and touch like buttons and crap like that. He's got an unbelievable amount of crap of discussion on the live streams that he's got so far. And once he starts mixing around with some of the previous guests on Sasquatch Shills, I suspect things are going to get quite a bit more interesting, just because of the level of conversationalists that there are. Like, not everybody can sit here and hold a conversation with just anyone. That's a talent. That's a skill. You can do this, right? You don't even really seem to have any animosity when people are coming at you with propaganda. You just kind of smile at it, let it roll off. That's cool. A lot of people can't do that, bro. Sometimes I get caught up on stuff like that.
It makes me laugh because I know I got your attention. That's how I look at it. If you worried about me,
Yes,
I know I
sir.
got your attention.
Yeah,
That means I won.
You're living rent free in your head suddenly. I love it. I
That
absolutely
means
love
I won. Yeah, that means I won. So, like, look, like the brother GFS, truth be told, look, I'm gonna tell you, he don't even know this, but I'll tell you, but he about to find out now. He became a co-host of mine, not by criticizing me, because people could have took what he did criticism, right? But it wasn't. He was more like, look, Fifth, What you're doing, it's not what you're doing. Let me say this correctly. How you're doing what you're doing is a 10, but how you're doing it, it's about a 4. Let me help you and show you how to bring that up to like a 9, a 10. But he didn't say that. He just did
I'm
it.
going to drive it to 11 if I get half a chance. I'm going to dump so
Yeah.
many ideas on your head from so many directions you've never thought of. These aren't all mine. Keep in mind, it's not all me. All I'm doing is listening to what everyone else in the creative sphere is actually talking about. And I look like somebody says something over here and I go, you know what that would be perfect for? I'd be perfect for this guy over here. He's already kind of doing it. He just needs to get the format right. And I'll jump in the email and send him an email, be like something like this. Maybe send him a short that's kind of shows what I'm talking about or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. Also, when you have like technical issues with things like OBS, StreamYard, compatibility problems, I'm not a Mac guy. I don't know much about Mac, but the interface is pretty well interchangeable, although all the things are named different stuff. So you got to figure out what yours is named. But as far as what it is, what it does, that's all the same. So, you know, and keep this in mind. And remember, I said this, everything in YouTube is about layers.
Yep.
Nothing is as it seems, and everyone wants to be a star. And so the layers of bullshit that people are willing to layer up on top of themselves to try to reach the stars is absolutely astounding. And whenever I find one of those people, especially if they get over on me and I actually buy into their bullshit for a while, and then I realize that I'm the ignorant one, I'm going to point and laugh when you crash and burn and continue to point and laugh. I will be the laughter of the jester in the middle of the night. You will hear my echoes of right. And that's for everybody. If you go look at the description on my channel, it says I'm here to laugh at people.
I tell people, I like to say, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to help opposition not crash out. You know what I mean? If you want to do something and you're opposing me, I'm not going to help you. I'm going to watch you crash out, bro. I'm going to watch that. I'm not going to stop you.
Sun Tzu made a statement. Sun Tzu made it. There's something written by Sun Tzu. It says, never interrupt your enemy when they are making a mistake. And
I just didn't want to word it like that.
It's a tried and true method of destroying your opponents without making any effort whatsoever. And one of the best ways in YouTube to force someone into a mistake is by not reacting to them at all. Just don't even watch the content. When they make hours and hours and hours of stuff, just don't even tune, not even subscribe. People mention it, be like, I don't care, and move on with the conversation. Oh, did you see what so-and-so said on it? No, I didn't. And I don't care.
But you know what I say, though? I say that same thing. No, I didn't. I don't care. But do me a favor. They're like, what? Go tell him to keep doing it and keep putting my name in the title. Please. I'm not going to watch, but please, I appreciate it if you help me out.
Right? Like, I've triggered a few people on YouTube. I've got a couple of people out there who have a deep and abiding hatred of me. But if they were honest, they wouldn't. Had they been honest to start with, we wouldn't be in this position. And so, you know, if you want to run a line of trash, that's fine. Go run your trash. Just don't do it around me, and I won't call you out for it. Unfortunately, these people wandered across me, and I was like, "Oh, that's bullshit! Bullshit right there. That's I know that smell."
All I know is the more you talk about me, when people come across me and they interact, or even if people see the way I provide my content, they everything about me is going to go to the contrary to what you say, because I even allow people to I literally have certain comments I put on the screen that's specifically about me, and the person is talking about me, but the shit is so funny that I have to acknowledge it. I gotta put, remember I told you it's that level. If I put all these criteria that stuff you can't say to make fun of me and be disrespectful in the chat, and you figured out a way how to troll me in a funny manner, I'm gonna give you your just due. I'm gonna say thank you, and I'm gonna laugh at the joke, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. You get what I mean? And
have a participation trophy. Somebody pops up and trolls me good. We got a participation trophy winner right here. I'll bring the comment up, point it out, ask them to go and tell other people that shit.
Yo, since you say
Keep
that,
my name in your mouth.
yo, since you say that, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just because you said that, you just gave me this idea. In the NBA, right? During like the All-Star game or the finals, you know how they give you the trophy? I'm gonna start doing that. The troll trophy of the day or this live, and I'm gonna, you know how you could just do a quick thing. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I
Oh,
like that.
that's good
Yeah, I
stuff.
like
It
that.
is.
I
And
like
I'm
that.
dead serious about creating a mythical, non-existent assistant to blame all the mistakes on. This is actually kind of a psychological trick for yourself, really, because you know it's you that did all of it, but it gives you an outlet to be like, oh, that's Lorenzo's fault. And I mean, it's just one of those things, you know. It's a psychological trick. It lets you slough off the mistakes you make without actually having to say, you know, you're gonna have to deal with it eventually. But during the show, you can just be like, oh, that's Jim Eagle's fault. That's Lorenzo's fault. That's Sam Destin's fault. These are all imaginary assistants of people.
So I just say it's my fault, get it out the way, and boop, the end of the conversation. I think I had to do it the other night. I literally had to do it the other night. So, because, all right. So, since I'm really starting to structure my content a little bit different, if you go back a week ago, you're going to see the way I've been doing these last 5 lives has been different from even a week ago. Like, I'm structuring it different. I'm structuring it different to the point that now, when I'm doing, I'm just calling it straight content. Like when I'm on the political stuff right now, I'm calling that straight content. So when I'm doing the straight content, I try to structure that hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It depends on how the live is going, who's watching, how the content is coming out. But normally, I try to put it between an hour, no more than an hour and a half, no more than that. Now, everything else, I'll try to do something like open panel, open topic, so we can talk about anything.
I have one thing to say to that, and then we're gonna have to end this part of the show and we'll go into the after dark part. But when you're doing vertical live streams, the longer it goes, the better it performs in the algorithm. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. After 2 hours, there's a bump. I don't know why it's there. And I stumbled into it messing around with midlife bro logic. But tell everybody who you is, where to find you, what you do, and toss out your Cash App or other channels and stuff.
So my name is Mr. Amelie in the chat right here. The name of this channel is 5/5. You know, we like to provide the best content, the best quality content from all different angles, all different point of views, all different paradigms. We to bring a lot of touchy topics. We talk about the uncomfortable stuff. We like to say, we have a saying around my channel. We like to say, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because when you're leveling up, that's part of being uncomfortable because you don't know what's at the next level. And we like to bring all our content in a respectful manner, in the most respectful way we can, because we comprehend that not everybody deals with the same stuff and not everybody has the same point of view. So I'm actually just trying to find the Cash App so I can show it. But so now the way we like to present it is I like to present different types of point of views with actual facts. That's what they call it sourcing up. We like to source up, show it on the screen, present what we're presenting, show it, and then react to it or give our point of view and ask what's your point of view. And I always tell people we're always open to topics. You can always provide anything you want us to say, anything you would like us to talk about. That is definitely a possibility. We're open to different types of genres because there's so many different creators that go into my show. So we like to, the way we're sharing to my audience, that's what I like to the people to do, to share to their audience. And I do verticals, we do landscapes, we do all types of content, long form, short form. I've had lives for 10 hours straight. So we've done it and we can react to just about everything at every type of level. We talk about energy, politics, movies, TV shows, technology, history, talk about maps, airplanes, aerodynamics, everything you can think of, man. Just trust me, you're gonna want to come through. 5/5, and the Cash App is the number 5, and you spell out FITHS. I'm gonna redo that eventually. And thank you.
I'm going to drop you down right quick. You go into chat and type something. I'll mod you up. You can drop your Cash App in the chat, and I'll put it on the screen for a bit, and then we'll do the little play out thing. Don't go nowhere. It's not over. People who are in his live stream, the chat everything is going to continue over here on my channel. This has been Sasquatch Shills. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through. If you want to come over and hang out in the chat until we can get the next stage of this whole live stream set up, you can stick around and wait, and maybe you'll get a notification from YouTube when he goes live again. But this will make an edit in the middle of all this so that he has the episode himself for his channel to do with as he pleases. It belongs to him and nobody's going to claim it. But until the next time I see you,
I gotta bounce. Thanks a lot for proving just how ugly and immature you are. It's been real. And just so you know, I don't really care about your problems.
I thank you, each and every one of you, like a brother and a sister. But if you give me any trouble tonight, I'll run every single one of y'all off this mountain. I'm going to give you some YouTube slave class to leave on. What are the humans doing?
Yeah, let's make it a beautiful day.
All right, let's do some freaking housekeeping right quick. I'm gonna give that a minute or two to kind of transfer through, and then I'll flip the switch again, and you should be able to relink whatever you want to relink to it. The link is fixing to go into the chat. We're gonna unpin that message, go over here, copy type stuff, and then this goes over here into the chat. Y'all know the drill. This is a Sasquatch Shills After Dark, which means that was inappropriate and wrong. Stop that. Which means that previous guests are preferred. So if I end up with more people that can be on the panel, and there are 10 previous guests that want to be on the panel, there will be 10 previous guests on the panel, and none of you other schmucks. So get it over with. Be happy about it. Get upset, like getting your fifis. It really is not going to have any effect on anything else anyway. So, hey, yeah, no, you can come in under that name. You want to calm down? No? Okay. What's up, Brother Bear?
Hey. Squatch, how you doing?
I am alive. I think I got the right name pinned. Yep. That's about as far as it goes, too. I mean, we do stuff. This is 5/5 over here, Mr. Millie in the chat. This is my first guest. I think this is either the first or second Sasquatch Shills guest.
The first. Because I was the one you had to remove.
That's right. We're not going to discuss that. We're just going to skip right over the top of that like that didn't even happen. All right. So let me hit the little button. If you want to relink, you should be able to now. So the way this generally goes is I've got some videos that we can go over. One is Illinois mayor thinks he's above the law, or we can discuss the nuts and bolts of YouTube ad nauseum. I mean, we can literally just sit right here and talk about what you want to do with your channel, if that's what you want to do. If other guests come up and they want to talk about what they want to do with their channel, we can cover that shit too. That's how it works.
So you're saying that right now is up to me?
It's pretty much up to you. You're the only person that can't be kicked off the freaking panel at the moment. And you've got an hour to take advantage of that. Next time, it might not be so easy.
Abuse it.
All I was going to say is, can you have him give me a little bit of insight on YouTube, how to help me grow my channel a little bit more from his experience?
Don't ask me.
How many subscribers you got, Kerry?
200.
Right. But here's the thing. He's got you remember how I said there's some people who are content and some people who make content? This is one of those are content people who made some content. And I didn't realize that when I was first starting out. I didn't know the difference.
That's funny. That's
actually a little different.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you come up on YouTube? What made you jump on the platform?
Well, the truth of the matter is, one of us, it was me and a partner working on a Facebook page. One of us had to get in front of the camera, and the other was a prison guard. So I'm not even joking.
Yo, you're serious?
I'm dead serious. My partner was a prison guard.
Oh wow!
So
And
he
so-
couldn't do
yeah,
it,
you can't do that.
which is
Okay.
a shame. He was a very calm, intellectual, and I'm kind of a spurg, right? Squatch.
Kind of. This
Kind
man
of.
lives in a shed and has a manifesto about the Second
It is
Amendment,
not a manifesto.
but it is a shed.
You
It
notice
is
he
a
didn't
shed.
argue that. He didn't
No.
argue that part.
It's a
It is
shed.
shed?
It is. It is literally a shed in a warehouse.
Yeah, no, it's you do you, boo boo. I don't care how you do it. But you know, if you ever get raided and they find the papers, you know what they're gonna call it.
What is it? Yeah, they're gonna call it something else. They're not gonna call it a manifesto.
You can lie to
Action
you
plan.
and you can lie to him, but you're not gonna lie to me, sir.
They will call it an action plan.
That's an action plan. So it's an escape
So-
route. What it is?
In this imaginary world, what happens when they don't?
What? They don't raid me? I
They
never
don't
thought that
call
far
it an
ahead.
action plan.
What if they call it something else?
Then I have my lawyer object and put a gag order on the proceedings.
Okay.
That actually did pretty good for a Sasquatch Shills, bro. Fairly impressed. We were running between 22 and 30 people in here constant, and there was a constant swap out of people the whole time. So I don't even want to look and see what the results on that first hour was. That was pretty good.
I like that. It was cool. You got to work on that nervous part, though. Whoever goes through this, remember what I just said, and then you're gonna say that's what he's talking about. You'll comprehend it.
No mystery. Anyone who's done the show knows that I absolutely lose my cookies right before one for whatever reason. I can do a chilling with Sasquatch. It doesn't matter. I can come up on your panel. It doesn't bother me at all. It's not an issue at all. I can wade into the middle of a debate on topics that I hate, and it does not bother me. But right before I do a Sasquatch Shills, for whatever reason, that fucking adrenaline dump hits like 27, 80 seconds out, a minute out, and it just doubles up and doubles up and doubles up until like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and I'm in a full-blown frog. And then suddenly I go live and it's like all the noise stops.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody said this to you, but I'll say it, right? And I don't mean to sound harsh, but I'm pretty sure you've made other people feel this way too. When you're going through that and you got your adrenaline running high, for some reason, I don't know why, it made me laugh. Like I didn't, it brought everything. I'm looking at you like he is a normal person. Because I told you the sector I come from, people don't want to help you grow your channel. That's not what they. So that I'm like, and part of my mind is I'm still like, why? And even you won't even let me repay you nothing. You're like, no, that's not how it works. How remember what you said? How you repay me is keep making great content, better content, different content. Yeah. What you say, I'm tired of the same content. I'm looking for something new.
I'm looking for people who are doing the same thing everyone else is doing, but either doing it way earlier, way sooner, earlier in the curve, right? They're ahead of the curve on some level, right? Whether it's their sound management, their set development, their formatting, their layering, their backgrounds, whatever, just something they're doing better than other YouTubers are. With you, it's an engagement thing, right? You've got a dynamic personality that takes its place on the stage without actually having to put forth you don't appear to have to put forth the extra effort to make it happen. Not everybody can do that, right? You have a certain amount of gravitas and presence that allows you to sit on a panel with other dynamic personalities and not necessarily cede ground to them. But at the same time, you're willing to cede that ground whenever it's it's available whenever it's possible. You don't have an issue with backing off from a topic if you don't like it. You don't have an issue with saying, okay, well, I was wrong. And that is an amazing thing in the panelverse. Ain't nobody wrong on YouTube, bro. In fact, I tell people after I do something, I'm a YouTuber and I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. It's perfect.
So I tell everybody all the time, I know I don't know everything. So I approach certain topics in a different, I don't approach all content the same way. That's one thing I don't do. So some topics I'm going to show you, some topics I'm going to present someone that's going to show you, some topics I'm presenting us to show you, and then certain things I'm just providing evidence and say, what do you think about this? Now your engagement, the part you really like, that's when that is fluctuating. That's when that is really, what do you think about this? What does that person think about that? Get in the chat section. Where are you from? What did they teach you? This is what they taught me.
And it is so much more important to listen to that input when it's offered. There are so many people on YouTube who have such a crystallized idea of what they want to have their content be. And they come in and they do that thing and no one watches it, right? That it takes somebody who's able to see through the density of the information or to get beyond the gruffness of the presentation or the savagery of the creator to realize that we're all the same. We're all just trying to get a grip, and none of us really know what we're doing until we encounter that error, that mistake. That you don't learn anything from succeeding on the first try. Only through failure do you learn, and only through learning can you improve. And so failure is that improvement. It's the price you pay to be better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Always open-minded.
Unless you just don't give a fuck.
Right, this guy here, he does what he does, and it's not he does what he does. I don't got no smoke for it. I'm just saying it's not something that's going to explode and take over the world tomorrow. But he could change something, and maybe something might be interesting and happen that's different from what's been happening. I'm not going to say any more about that because I'm that sort of asshole.
And he's right.
What I'm getting at is you have to. It's perfectly okay to have a dream of how you want your content to be, but you also have to take into account what actually works. It might not be your dream that's wrong. It might be the format. It might be the titles. You have to get clickbaity sometimes. You have no choice. YouTube is built around clickbait bullshit. And so if you don't get in the trenches and start throwing your elbows, you're not going to get anything done.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, if you would have talked to me 6 months ago, if you would have talked to me 90 days back, we could go we're in February. Yeah, you bring me back 90 days. You say, yo, Fifth, you're going to be up here talking about Donald Trump, Elon Musk. You're going to be talking about executive orders. You're going to be talking about all this crazy stuff. And I'm going to tell you, you're out your mind. I'm going to tell you just like that, you're out your mind, bro. I don't talk politics. That's what I'm going to say. I don't do politics. I've never done a politic on much ever. I don't do politics. I don't even talk politics in real life, bro. You bugging. Where am I at now? It's all I want to do is the politic. I like it. I like talking about it. I like bringing both aspects.
With Donald Trump in office and Elon Musk riding shotgun, it's basically a WWE roundup every freaking morning, bro. You wake up in the morning and see who he fired today.
So if you look at the last live, right? That was totally my fault. I'm thinking I forgot to title it because normally because I'm not 100% sure on where I'm gonna go with the title until right before.
I meant to cover that. I'm sorry. I meant to bring this up before. You have this mountain of hashtags under every one of your videos. Stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that. 5.
So
use 5 hashtags. If you use more than 5 hashtags, the algorithm assumes you're a bot, and it doesn't put you into any of those searches.
Oh,
but it actually has. All my subscribers are from all those towns, all of them. That's why I asked where you checking in from, so I know what hashtag is working. That's why I do that.
Okay, but I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, once it's happened, if somebody goes back and searches those hashtags, that live stream won't be in them because the algorithm looks at what you've done with the 1.5 million hashtags, it's obvious that you're trying to what is it, search engine optimize, but you've gone way far into the paint. Yeah. So I would advise 5, 10 at the most. I'm not sure where the cutoff point for that is, but it's like below 50, right? It's less than 50, bro.
Well, honestly, me and my co-host were talking about that, and I told him that. What's today? Thursday? Hold on. I told him, see, because I thought we was gonna do it Thursday, so I told him Friday I was gonna change the hashtag. But since we did this today, I'll probably start doing that tomorrow. Like my next live will probably be like that, honestly. Because what I normally do is I copy and paste all my hashtags. And on the last live, I didn't copy and paste any of them. So the next live, when I set it up, I got to set up everything brand new. And that was all. So I might as well start doing that from the next. Even if the next live is after this, I'm going to start it like that.
What I suggest is go through like whatever hashtag generator or whatever you use to come up with it. Go through and think about the things that you specifically like to talk about or are likely to pop up on the channel. Throw in 10 of those and skip it. Usually I'll put humor, jokes, sometimes satire, comedy. I'm not actually a comedian, but I do play one on YouTube. I mean,
it's not even funny.
The jokes are fake, but the laughs are real. I can't help what you laugh at. Don't bitch at me about it. That's your mind. And to prove it, I don't know if I've done this one to you. I know I've done it to you, Carrie. I want to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you believe in coincidence?
No.
I know you don't. We've been through this.
I'm a creator.
But do you believe in coincidence?
Say yes, just to fuck with them.
That's my answer. Just to fuck with you.
All right. So there's two ways to view the universe. Either the universe is as it is, and you can't control it, and you don't think you can like predict anything in it, that like a normal rational person, or you believe that everything in the universe was set up specifically for you to deduce the mind of God. For whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be very much in the middle ground over here. You have like your gematrians, your astrologers, your hardcore Luciferians, your freaking Southern Baptist over here. And then over here, you've got your hardcore atheist, your freaking weirdo liberal nut job wing nuts over there. And the middle people are very few and far between. And in my experience, how someone answers whether or not they believe in coincidence determines how they view problem solving in the future, right? Because if it's deterministic and you got no choice, then the problem's not a problem. It's just a travail you have to go through. But if things are random, then it's a problem that might be able to be solved, and they will work proactively to get around it, to surmount it, to solve the problem.
Yeah, I'm a problem solver. I don't like when something happens. I'm not the type to sit there and dwell on it and figure out why it happened. Woe is me. The minute I realize I'm gonna analyze what the problem is, okay, next step is problem solving, problem solution. So
we call that critical thinking, ladies and gentlemen. This is what is missing in modern schooling. Everyone tells you what to think. No one teaches you how.
They banned it in 1973.
He just came out with a whole year. They banned that in 1973. I was born 7 years later. I was born 1980. But yeah, I'm going. Like I said, I feel like nothing happens to me. Everything is always happening for me. That's what I told you before. The universe is always conspiring for me, never against me. I always believe in lessons. If something's happening, there's a lesson. There's something I'm learning. Something I'm supposed to learn. If it's happening repetitively, keeps happening, that means I didn't learn it. Whatever it is, I got to learn. I got to learn more.
It's a good way to see it. Yeah, no, that's not inaccurate. I mean, it's possible to encounter the same problems after learning a particular thing, but in those cases, you learn more about it. You know, so take for instance the distinction between a panel killer and a panel chiller, right? I don't block panel chillers, but I do limit the amount of time they have on the panel. Right. So when you'll notice it later when you start your lives start like really pumping up and you start getting 20 or 30 people in chat and stuff.
It's already happening.
A certain guy comes in and suddenly you have 2 people in chat like that.
Yeah.
Those people got to go, bro. It's nothing against them. I don't care what they're saying. I don't care what the topic is. I don't care if it's a bad mic, if they use like offensive freaking backgrounds or whatever. None of that matters. The effect it has on the channel is detrimental to the brand. The rest of them you just block because you can't talk to them, and you block them in StreamYard, not in the chat. Let them go crazy in the chat, provided they don't say anything, too far off the mark.
He's right. I've seen that happen.
I didn't know you could block people on the StreamYard. Oh, no, I do. No. Yes, I do. Yeah, I had to think about what you said because I didn't. When I hit that block, because I did that to 2, maybe 3 people, I thought it was off the YouTube. So I'm blocking them off the StreamYard. Now I know why they haven't been popping up again. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense now. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense now.
I don't have anyone blocked on StreamYard.
Now I had people going back there throwing up gang signs in the back of my. I had one dude trying to get naked in my backstage. It's like, yo, what are you doing, bro? First he went from
when I hosted Jack Talcott, I had 4 porn bombers actively playing porn in the backstage during this part of his show. The After Dark, like I dropped the link and it was like, bam, the whole back end flooded. And there's like a couple of people who are legit and I recognize them and stuff, but I still do this. You still do this every single freaking time that you've got somebody come up. I don't care if they show you who you are. Oh, wait, no, it's the wrong thing. It's the overlay.
I put a solo cam and I just cover the whole screen with me.
But the problem is when, like, take this for instance, when I drop you backstage, I go solo. And then I add you, it pops back up like this for a second, and then you've got to hit the solo button again. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens? You hit the wrong freaking button.
This, right there.
You suddenly got some German scat porn on your channel, and you got to figure out what to do about it, right? You've got to take down the video. You're going to have to edit it. And to do that, you're probably going to need to take it down from YouTube just immediately and keep it in StreamYard, go in and edit out the parts that are an issue and then re-upload it straight to YouTube if you want to. But the better way to handle that is up here. You take one of your overlays that covers enough of the screen, and then you can talk, he can talk, I can talk, we can all hear each other, and I can vocally verify, hey, 5 Fists, is that you?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yep.
It's you. Okay, so we'll take this down and go on with our show because I can trust you not to throw a flaming butthole on top of it. I mean, I'm telling you, I had 4 like active, like they would drop out and another one would pop up and it was a different, all kinds of heinous things happening to people. It was, and I was laughing my ass off the whole time because I'm like, bitch, I'm better than you. I'm so much better than you that you can go watch it and you can't even tell it's happening. I didn't mention it until after the show was over, and in the later backstage it's kind of like this, but it's just a thing, and that happens sometimes once or twice during a show. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all. But you just gotta handle absolutely every individual as if they were an atomic bomb, as if they were made of arsenic, because everyone can be poisoned. And it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody that takes your icon, your avatar, and some video footage of you and convinces me that it's you long enough to actually get on screen. And like, you're gonna have to flip me off for something, bro. Show me a shocker. All right, it's close enough.
You're talking to somebody. I thought you said that shit to me. Send me a shocker. That's why I laugh like that.
No, he was talking to me.
Yeah,
the smoking auditor. Salute the smoking auditor.
I annoyed him into making content. He used to be content, and now he makes content.
I'm doing that to
I still am content. I don't want to make content. I do not want to be famous. I just want to have fun on YouTube. I'm fine with being like famous adjacent.
He's mad.
That he got 1,000 subscribers?
He's mad that he got 1,000. This is the nicest guy on YouTube, by the way. When he starts
I'm
trying
at
to
like 1,400 and some.
Damn, that's awesome.
I'm telling you, for a guy who don't want subscribers, he's doing pretty well.
Shit, there's people that wish they were where you at.
I don't know why people subscribe to me. It makes no sense.
I don't either.
That's crazy. He said it makes no sense. But what is it? You don't put no content up at all?
Oh, I have all kinds of content. Check my page out.
So then why?
I'm doing a scavenger hunt, and if everyone's welcome. There is prize money. It's just tiny amounts.
These are tiny amounts. What is it? The smoking auditor. Let's check this out. So what are you scavenging? What are they hunting? Are you hunting or are people hunting?
You all are hunting my comments on random videos I find in the shorts.
Oh.
Here's how it works. If you go into your phone under a short, you can hit a remix button and show a video. You can take a clip out of that video and you can say something about it or do whatever. And there's a few different options in there. But what he's doing is he goes in and explains this as a scavenger hunt, and then he shows you a bare bones version of the video. And now you're supposed to look through shorts, and if you come across the short that he shows in the video and you go to the comment, it's the right short, his comment's in there somewhere. And you go comment on it, leave, do the thing the way he says, and it enters you into whatever drawing, or the first person gets a cash app or something like that.
That's awesome. Yeah, now that is what you call different. I've never heard of that before. That is super different.
The whole goal is to get them to comment on my comment and make a video, even if they've never made one.
If that's you, show me your bald head.
Where is that?
No, I don't think he's either white or black, but he sits in a dark room with a light on him, and so it's like the profile pic. Yeah, all you can really do. Yeah. Now wave at me, because it's got to be actually okay. All right, good enough. Now you can go back to being poke stick. The fucked up thing is, I guessed who it was from his fucking name.
What's going on, Sasquatch?
What's happening, baby? This is one of those trolls who operates in a line somewhere between a panel chiller and panel killer, unless he likes you, and then he's just content.
Yeah. For people like Made by Jim Bob, I'm a panel troll to the nth degree. So
damn, to the nth degree. Man, how did you get to that status?
Well, I'm all about fun. You see, I just make jokes, and if I'm the only one laughing, that's just as good.
So you joke on everybody?
Yeah, that's it.
I really do. I happen to agree with him. If he's the only one laughing, it's still a funny joke. You just don't like it. That's
you don't got a sense of humor. Yeah, you don't got a sense of humor. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't get your joke, that just means go dark.
Oh my god. Yeah, but everybody's sense of humor is different. Yeah, you got a point. There's some people I say shit that I think is hilarious and nobody be in the chat, no laugh. I'll say something that's not funny and I'll get a whole bunch of laughy faces. And
so there's a difference between humor and jokes.
Yep.
Jokes involve humor, but humor is not always a joke, right? So in order for something to be funny, it has to have a setup, a hook, and a punchline. And that is a joke, right? Now, whether it's humor or a joke, that's usually the format it takes, whether it's a guy walking down the street and slipping on a banana peel or him doing a backflip and landing on his feet. The humor part is the left turn that takes place, right? It's the unexpected. It's you're expecting something and something different has happened, and that's funny. Ha ha ha. But you don't get to decide what you think is funny. And this is the important part. This is why you laugh at a funeral. This is why you laugh at a wedding. This is why you laugh in church. and you can't help it because humor is an involuntary response. Laughing is something that most people cannot control, and I can prove it. 5/5, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it. Okay. How many Ubuntu tribesmen does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
One, they're human, you fucking racist. So
yeah, I'm thinking of what you're gonna say. I didn't think you were gonna say that.
Exactly, and that's where the humor is.
See, but that was a comic joke. That wasn't humor. Humor is telling a 20-minute long story about getting cancer and making people laugh the entire time.
Sure. And I'm not okay, so I'm not talking about humor. Humor is what it is where you find it. It's like porn. You I can't tell you what it is, but you'll know it when you see it. Whereas executing a joke is different. It involves a setup, a lead up, a setup, a hook, and a punchline. And there's always a butt to the joke. I have yet to find a joke that doesn't hurt someone. And so pain is built into it, and laughing is modified crying. And I say it this way: there, but for the grace of God, go I. The reason you laugh is because if it happened to you, you would cry.
Yep. Yep.
The reason it's funny is it's not happening to you. And so anytime somebody tells you a joke or tries to tell you that not all jokes hurt people, that's trash. There has to be a but. And if it's not a but, if there's no but there, then it's not a joke. It's a humorous anecdote or a humorous observation, which are not jokes, but can be funny.
Wait, what if
I appreciate your description of comedy and humor. It's very close to what Mark Twain wrote about it.
Yeah,
but
I might have grabbed some of it from Samuel Clemens. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so I love humor and comedy. I spend an hour every night listening to stand-up comedy, like every night, and I spend time every day trying to write jokes. I'm not very good at it, but I'm always like it's the thing that I love doing. And so like when I get into these chats and I'm saying things, this is just me like exercising the reason why I think I'm here. And it's kind of messed up, but it's what I love to do.
Yeah, and sure. I've only written a couple of original jokes. If you'd like to hear them, they're terrible, but I will tell them. Have you ever played Red Dead Redemption 2?
No, I've never played that.
Okay, well then you won't get this joke. But what is Arthur Morgan's favorite type of woman? Hop ho.
Oh, I heard that. Oh,
Hip hop ho. So when you're playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and you're riding around on your horse, every time you turn the reins or slow down or speed up, he goes hip ho, hip hop, hip ho all the time. And one of them that he does is hip hop ho. And he says it just like that. Hip hop ho. So like I said, you won't get it. The other one is how many pandas does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Pandas don't screw. That's why they're endangered.
He said that's when they're endangered. Oh my god, Joe. I thought that was
just need a little porn, that's all.
A little panda porn. Get some furries in and get it right on.
Oh.
Do we have any particular questions or topics we want to cover? I've got a video if we'd rather go into that type of stuff.
What's the video you got?
It's an Illinois mayor having an interaction with a cop over a driving infraction.
Ooh. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
My Tuesday show is largely a bunch of cops fucking up in general.
Trolling cops?
Well, just cops doing bad things, being naughty. It's called the Naughty Corner is the name of the show on Tuesdays. So there's
Okay.
that. All right. So what we have here is the Illinois mayor having a conversation with a cop. Cop has just walked up to the door and go. And we need sound.
Mayor of
Police. Open your door. Sir, open your door. Sir, police department, open your door. You're in the middle of the highway.
The mayor is on the Kennedy Expressway in downtown Chicago and now causing massive backups after multiple 911 callers reported him parked in a lane on the freeway.
Open the door. How you doing? Do you need an ambulance? Sir, put your car in park for me. Sir, do you need an ambulance? You understand? Do you know where you are right now?
If that's what you want me to do, yes.
Hey, you're in the middle of the highway sleeping in your car. Can you turn your car off for me? Hey, where's the key fob at? No, don't turn it on. Keep it off. Look at me. Hey, do you know where you are right now? What's going on? Take off your seatbelt for me. The fire department's coming. Okay.
All right. So what is he on? First of all, I want to ask, do you think this man is under the influence? Do you think, and what do you think he's under the influence of?
I don't know what, but he's on something.
Okay.
He just looks happy.
No,
he could be drinking, but he could have a medical problem too, because he hasn't said an actual word. He's just looking forward. He hasn't said. Even when the window was closed, I didn't see him talk.
I can explain that. You see, you have the right to remain silent. Most people just don't have the ability, and he's actually doing the thing. He knows he's going to jail, and he's doing the thing. And he's going to be silent and try not to be in cuffs any longer than he absolutely has to.
Okay. Do you have the ID on you? Can I see it?
He was passed out. It took us a while to wake him up, but he finally woke up.
All right. Do you have any medical problems I should know about? Are you sick or injured?
I do.
Do you take any medication for anything? How much you made a drink tonight?
I had an event to celebrate a fundraiser.
Okay.
And I came here.
Maybe you were drinking at the fundraiser.
Sure.
How much?
So we're drinking. Is it only drinking, or is it more?
More. I'm going to say more. I think he's on a prescription.
No, I said just alcohol.
That kind of looks like an Ativan stare to me.
I've never done that.
Well, the thing about Ativan is like you can it doesn't happen when you first start taking it, but it happens when they change doses more often. It kind of does happen when you first start taking it sometimes. But what happens is you take your Ativan, you go lay down, and then some little gnome inside your brain picks your body up and walks it around like a fucking meat puppet, and you don't know what's happening. And people will be telling you stories about how you said some stuff or you did some things or you went somewhere and you did some stuff or whatever. And the only way these people ever find out this stuff's happening is if other people tell them, because all they remember is going to bed and waking up. And
Did you mean Ambien?
No, well, maybe.
Well, Ambien
Sleeping
does that.
pills.
Isn't Ambien just a brand name Ativan?
I've never heard the actual name of it. It might be.
Ativan is a very short, a very rapidly titrating benzodiazepine, and it's probably the devil itself. The same thing can happen on Xannies if you do enough of them. If you've been on them long enough, it's Xannies are a freaking nightmare, bro. It can take you 90 days to get off of to get clear of withdrawals from Xanax.
Yeah, I knew some gals back in the day who were taken advantage of at parties because they got dosed with that nonsense. That's bad stuff.
It's rough, dude. Like it's impossible to manage. But one of the reasons I ended the reason I ended up having a substance abuse problem is my lack of self-control. And any type of drugs that I touch influence my ability to control myself, right? That's just a natural state of, drug use and inebriation, alcohol, anything. The only way I've been able to stay clean is to simply not do it. Uh, in fact, I used, a lot of people get mad at me for saying this, but I used the Yoda method. I tried to get clean. I tried to get clean. I tried to get clean. And then one morning, and I'll never freaking forget it, I woke up and had an epiphany. The reason I'm still on drugs is because I keep taking the damn drugs. The withdrawal is going to take exactly as long as the withdrawal takes, regardless. And the shortest withdrawal would be a cold turkey approach, which would also be the hardest, heaviest, worst withdrawals. But you have a choice between half-ass withdrawals for the next 9 months, 2 years, or almost dying tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And but after a week, that almost dying crap kind of fades out. And after 2 weeks, it's not even a consideration unless you backslide. And if I went back right now and took the shit that I was on when I quit, it would kill me. Graveyard dead. I do not have that tolerance anymore. I cannot do that stuff anymore. Specifically, Xannies is what almost killed me. I got off the smack pretty quick and easy. That was a few messy drawers, and I burned a fucking mattress, and I was okay after that. But the Xannies, dude, they seizures when you're like get up to go get something to drink, and then wake up having vomited on yourself on the floor because you just had a freaking seizure because you had a Xanny. That's crazy. I got mad respect for those folks. Like same thing right up there with the alcoholics, people who quit alcohol. Alcohol can kill you if you stop suddenly. Yep.
Oh yeah, I know that one. That was my drug. Yeah, I just stopped one day. There's only a small percentage. I think it's like 10 or 15% that it'll be terminal if you try that.
Right.
So
well,
those are severe alcoholics.
This here is speaking from experience. My pops was a half gallon a day drinker for fucking 30 years at least. And then one day on a random Tuesday, him and my mom were talking, and he said something about quitting drinking, and he didn't drink again. And that was something that stuck in my head. I remember that whole process of him deciding not to drink, being a bit of an asshole for a while, and then he kind of chilled out and mellowed out a little bit, and he was fine. But looking back, having gotten off of what I've gotten off of, and realizing that his addiction was alcohol, that shit'll kill you if you quit suddenly. And I know for a fact he just stopped. The motherfucker woke up one morning and poured a whole handle of Crown Royal out down the sink. Went to work. Rock at Gibraltar, bro. Like that man, hardcore.
That's bad courage. It takes a lot of courage because hold up. Is there anything I can't talk about? I'm gonna ask the rules.
Yeah, your deepest, darkest desires, because that shit's for backstage.
All right, so so like when you go to prison and you see alcohol, they actually give them a medication. They stress them people to tell them if they've been drinking because they don't want them to not wake up when they go to sleep. Like some of them, you can see it in their face, I think. Because I've asked, like, yo, why do you ask every single person if they're drinking? Like you asked me 3 times, I don't drink. Like I don't like, and I never knew that it could, like, you can die if you just quit cold turkey after. Like if you have a high tolerance or whatever, however that should go. I was like, what? I was like, I drink a little bit, but I'm not a drinker at that time because I was young. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah.
The functional alcoholic is probably one of the most amazing creatures walking the earth today. These people are capable of walking around, operating heavy machinery, having conversations, and voting with a blood alcohol of 0.20. Right. These folks be borderline dead and perfectly functional. Think there's nothing wrong with it. I just had a little drink at lunch, but that little drink at lunch was actually, you know, a drink at first break, another drink before work, another one. You know what I'm saying? It just it grows like a mushroom.
It's crazy because I used to talk shit, right? Like people that used to talk crazy like that. I used to smoke a lot of weed during my breaks and shit, and then I work. So that's when I started to say, like, damn, if you this is what how my mind registered it. If people were talking shit about people drinking, having a drinking problem, I was like, damn, do I have a weed problem? I'm out here waiting to go to lunch and smoke some weed while I have lunch. It's the same action, different substance.
Yeah, weed is as a highly addictive drug, but because of the way that it gets stored in your fat cells and is slowly dosed out, you don't actually go through the withdrawals. I mean, it's a horribly addictive drug, but you just don't feel it. It's sneaky.
There's a psychological component that a lot of people don't notice, because the tendency with potheads is they get high, they decide they're going to get high again. And after a few months, they just wake up in the morning and wake and bake. And then before they go to bed, they smoke. And so they're just high all the freaking time. There's they're never actually not, you know, they're never actually straight. And so they never notice themselves when they're actually sober, because they're not. Now, on the other hand, the actual active ingredients in marijuana are not going to have a dimming effect to your IQ a week later, right? If you smoke a blunt, it's going to get stored in your fat cells. It's going to excrete out. But if you're one of these hardcore vapors over here, man, if you're running freaking clouds, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff, that level of tolerance, that's a little different. When you cold turkey that trash, you start having nightmares. You wake up in the middle of the night with that cold chill going on, and you just kind of grab it, feel it over you. You feel like that hag riding you up in the middle of 3 a.m. It's like, goddamn. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't have motherfucking nightmares. I forgot.
Why do you think that?
This motherfucker told me nightmares have him.
It's worse than that, though, because they got all this synthetic stuff out now that's got the active ingredients in it. And if you take too much of that stuff, it'll give you liver disease. It'll do all kinds of stuff to you that traditional just, you know, rolling one up. I
understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, Anson. No fucking clue what I'll do to you if I don't get
it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be legal. I'm just saying that it is bad. It's not like
it's not
traditional.
Good. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Better than alcohol.
He's talking possibilities right now. He's right, because we haven't had it long enough to have the data on it yet.
Sure. So, I will accede to all of that. In fact, I'll go a step further. Anything that isn't produced by dropping a fucking seed in the ground and letting that shit grow is a drug. If you've got to process it in any fucking direction at all, it's a drug that very easily allows you to smoke as much of the fucking hemp you want to, but not the vaping shit. The vapes are weird, dude. That shit's a drug. I didn't used to think so till I got a hold of a good one. And my ass ended up sitting outside of the fucking Walmart trying to get up enough courage to go inside because I'm high as hell. And my family is in that motherfucker. I know my family is going to be in there. My aunt, my uncle, my little really, really sweet autistic cousin who loves me to death is going to want to hug my neck. She's only like 4 foot tall. That's going to hurt my back.
Can I point something out about those vape pens? Well, 2 things. One, a couple hits is equivalent to like an eighth to a quarter, depending on the quality of it. And 2, all those pens have some type of metal filament in there heating up that you are smoking on. You're smoking some metal.
Give me some
Steel, copper, whatever they use.
Yeah. That's why you're vaporizing it.
Bitch. That's not good enough. You have to talk to me. You have to show me.
He's talking to somebody back. So you feel like you're doing it.
Yeah, yes.
So you're right. Oh, you should have told me. I would have told you that's the guy. You're right. So they you know what they did? They sweetened the word up and call it vape when it's vaporized. Because then you start asking questions. Well, what am I vaporizing? What's the process of it? Then they're gonna get to that answer, and they think they're gonna scare people away. You are correct. What's good, though, Mark? How you doing, my brother?
Not much. Peckerhead here checking in. I'm just kidding. No, remember your homie
But I'm the bad guy, Squatch.
Rich Dollars. He made that comment about peggerheads the other day.
Nice.
So
I thought you said that word. Yeah, man. But that alcohol is some shit, though. It is
Alcohol, dude. It blows my mind that they were the people who came before us looked at the list of substances available to the people and went, all right, so we're going to make this, and this illegal, and these are stimulants. We're going to make this and this illegal, and these are opiates, and that pretty much covers the gambit there. But we're going to legalize the one that does all of that. Alcohol, depending on what stage of the drinking you're in, has an opiate effect, a parasympathetic effect. Your parasympathetic nervous system gets depressed to the point that you can't actually function and speak, but then on the same time can be stimulated to the point where you no longer feel drunk, which is wild because everybody's seen that dude. You know, Tony, Caleb, I'm sorry, his name's always Caleb. He's got a guitar and he drinks too much. And then he pees in the bars, like in the bartender's bouncers drink and stuff. He's the guy who steals the bicycle. You know the guy I'm talking about. He gets white guy drunk.
Yeah, you're talking about me.
Maybe. Is your name Caleb? Have you ever sang a song to a group of people who walked away?
Yeah, no, I was never skilled with a guitar, but I was definitely the guy peeing in the bartender's cup.
Right.
Damn.
I was the guy who got thrown out because he didn't like that joke. I have been chunked. Look, I have been chunked out of a bar like a feckin' frisbee. I'm not even joking. I've had 5 guys walk over and tell me and say, like, while I was sitting at the bar joking around with the bartender, and 5 people show up behind me and go, "Up, it's time to go." And I'm like, and so it is. But they didn't let me go. They made me go.
Oh, yeah, they gave you an escort. That's good.
Oh, sir, no. They made it very easy. I didn't even have to move a muscle. I just got picked and thrown bodily, airborne out the door.
Flying. You can fly. You were able to fly that night.
Can you fly, Bobby?
He flew that night. Yeah, man. I dig it. Like, all right. My problem in that stage, it's gonna sound weird, yo. I was addicted to making money. I was like really good at it.
No. You mean the guy with the $3,000 fucking tooth in your fucking head? How much is that? 72 grand all told? You got 36 teeth because you wanted some extra gold. What the fuck, dude? This motherfucker got gold wisdom teeth. Seriously.
The only time he doesn't have money on him is when he's in the cell.
No, the funny thing. So I used to make dentures. The funny thing is the dentures with the gold teeth in them.
Yeah, my bad.
That sounds great.
Got a little kitty, but that was my problem.
What was it?
I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Peace out, brother. Much love.
Have a great night. Have a great night. But yeah, I was addicted. Even now, when I'm working and I'm going to work, I could work like 16, 17 hours straight, go home, power nap, 3-4 hours, and I could go right back and do another 17 hours. I give it the same energy. Like I'm literally addicted to making money. Like right now, I'm on YouTube. Ask my followers. I'll be up here on different channels till like 3:30 in the morning, and then I'm up in the shower at 6:45 a.m. Then slept, and I'm up all day again.
Yeah, the dude thinks he's Elon Musk of YouTube or some shit.
I don't know. I just got the same energy.
ADHD. You're hyperactive, which gives you extra energy to spare, and you need less sleep then, which is why you control it somewhat with smoking, I would guess.
Probably.
I've got a bit of a weirdness about my life, and there's several weird things like this. I have some congenital deformities But one of the weirdest things, when I was a child, I did not sleep. I on God, my mother and father, my brothers and sisters, I'm the youngest. They all swear that for the first 3 weeks, I would literally stop crying, blink, wake up and cry. I would sleep by seconds, is what they called it. And the older I got, the more I was able to sleep. By the time I was in high school, I was sleeping 2 hours a night. I would come home from school, get off the bus, walk 2 miles down the road to the farm at the end of the road, load hay bales on the freaking trailer while the truck rolled along beside me until it got too dark to do that. Then I'd go in where the lights were and muck out the stables until 10:30, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, however late that took. And if there was other things that needed doing, I would do that. There were some other guys that ran traps and stuff like that out near the house, and I would go and check their traps and stuff. And for all of these little things that I did, I got, $10 here, $20 there, $15 here, stuff like that. And when my dad found out that I was basically working 3 jobs and going to school, he asked me how I felt about it. And I said, well, at least I'm not bored. Boredom.
Yep.
If I get bored, I'm fucking done, dude. The second you become bored, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
That's that cut off quick thing you got going on, really.
So-
cut things quick. Won't give it much time. I'm pretty quick about cutting things off.
Well, YouTube's perfect for me because the nature of my channel is interviewing people about their content, and I get to find out all about all kinds of different stuff. Like when I get, GFS? I'm gonna get his ass in here, and we're gonna have us a conversation about some Monet. We're gonna talk about the funding, because that man is talking serious. He's doing the finances what I'm trying to get people to do to YouTube. Layers.
Well,
It's all layers. You protect your assets with layers of protection by deductions and calling things what they actually are, rather than wishing they weren't that thing and getting mad when you get deuced on it, right?
Right.
So he's saying, create a business, make the brand, do the thing, and don't bitch if you don't do that, because you end up having to pay a shitload of taxes on some shit people gave you.
My thing is like some people may take longer to learn some shit, and it's their brain, not necessarily a choice.
I've got the answer for that too. I don't care if you use any of the stuff I suggest. I have bombarded this man with ideas for the past 3 days. But the problem is you can't digest all of that trash all at once. There's no way in hell. Some of it stuck, some of it won't. It'll slide off him like a duck's back. But a week later, 2 months from now, he'll be like, you said some shit this one time about something that you fucking said. And he'll say some bit that reminds me of what it is, and I'll explain it again. Or he won't. And no hair off my balls. Like, it don't bother me at all if somebody doesn't ask me a question. That's up to you, bro.
Yeah, I know I'm a peckerhead and shit goes by me sometimes. It's like, whatever, I'll fucking catch on later or whatever. I'll make mistakes.
The only way you're a peckerhead is if somebody gives a shit that you didn't listen. Otherwise, you're just a dude that didn't catch that bit, and that's fine.
That's it. Because I don't look at you like that. You always, all of y'all been cool since day one with me. You know what I mean? That's why
I know. It's just a reference to the historical context. That's all.
So, Sasquatch, what do you want to know about organizing your business and the tax deductibility?
All right, so I'm gonna be general as fuck here. I am in a tax bracket, and I am on the very top edge of that tax bracket. If I make much more at all, and it's all set up so as to not get into the next tax bracket. So if I have a especially splendiferous year, money gets put into tax havens without me having to do it, and I stay right there at the top of that tax bracket. That's not going to happen if I start getting paid on YouTube. If I start accepting donations, or I start the YouTube monetization scheme, that's going to be different. And that's going to be an actual income that's actually going to count towards that. And it's going to put me right at the bottom of the next tax bracket, which will not be worth as much as.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Well,
You don't have to make income if you have revenue. So you can there are two different kinds of expenses that you can get as a business, right? You can have direct expenses, or you can have allocated expenses like depreciation and amortization, right? So if you're
All right,
taking
hold
all of
on
your
one second.
income and
Hold
throwing,
that thought. Hold that thought. We're at the end of the show. I'm going to
Yep.
do a little bit of a play out, and we're going to come right back up here. If you want to get in backstage and come talk about some of the raunchy shit, I'm going to get Fifth to twerk. I've got some shots. Oth's going to show us his legs with a 6-inch stiletto heel, and we're all going to rub Hanson's head for good luck.
Yeah, and he paid extra for this shit. So
the smoking
Definitely want to pull up. Yeah, you definitely want to pull up.
Right. So what's fixing to happen is I'm going to end this. If you're not backstage by the time it's over, you're not going to be able to find this link and join in. I'm going to be taking shots here in a second. It's going to get stupid. Y'all can stick around for it or don't. We'll see where it goes from there. You there. You're the one. Actually, no, we're going to start at the bottom. You there. Tell people who you are, what you do, and what to do about it.
I'm Thothmark. I do a lot of crazy shit, play games, tarot readings, religious, historical, ancient, all kinds of. I go anywhere and everywhere my mind goes. So if you want to join a wild, crazy man, do wild, crazy shit, I'm right here.
Anson, you don't do
yeah.
that.
So I am, and I guess I'm a lot of things, but I put myself out as a troll just because I don't want people to know who I really am. But I guess you could look me up. But for the sake of the conversation we're going to have later, I've been an accountant for 15 years, and I do like lots of tax stuff, and I've helped people set up
Okay,
I don't know a
that's
couple
not
hundred
YouTube
businesses.
things, is it? Are those YouTube things?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's YouTube things. All the accountant stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to the next person because no one wants to talk to an accountant. They don't have to.
Oh, hi, everyone. If you don't know me by now, you apparently don't watch this channel. I'm the Smoking Auditor. I'm doing a scavenger hunt. You all are welcome. Completely random. Batman won the first one. The second one's pretty much impossible. Third one might be out this weekend. Good morning, good evening, good night. See y'all later.
5/5, baby. Tell me all about it.
Well, I am the name of the channel is 5/5. Right? I'm the host, Mr. Amelie in the chat, and we like to have fun, bring the best content, all types of topics. A lot right now, we're talking about politics, and come through. Trust me, you won't regret it. Trust that.
Magnificent.
I'm here too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the After Dark portion of this show. I'm going to go see if somebody can teach me how to twerk while I'm drinking shots through my nose. I've got a thing of lemon in there, and I'm going to run it up the other side, just like that guy said in Desperado. Wait, that's probably the wrong movie. I'm going to press a button over here, and then things are going to start taking place. I need to go get a Joe Cool laugh for this one. What are the humans doing?